My name is Ishan and I am from India. I'm basically living in the capital in New Delhi. I'm living away from my parents and away from my family with my partner. Unfortunately, he's not here right now. So I came out to my parents in 2012, around 8 years back, when I just started working out and started working in Mumbai. And my parents from a small town, very religious. They are very Hindu, so they believe in God and kind of thing. So I came out to my parents over the call because my parents, as I told you, they were, doing a lot of prayers and a lot of belief in the God. So they were actually planning for my wedding because in India, when you turn 20, 22, 23, your family, especially your mother and father, start preparing for your wedding. So my mom will start buying gold. She was planning for my wedding, looking for prospect girls and kind of thing. So I realized that this is the time I should tell her because I don't want to break her heart later that I can't marry a girl. So I have to come out. So I just came out like over the call. And immediately my parents took a flight. They came to Mumbai and my mother gone on a depression. So it was really, really sad. And with my sister, it was fine because she's like a young generation. She had a gay friend, so it was fine. And my dad is also well traveled, so he also didn't had any issues initially. But my mom had a lot of trauma when I came out to her. So my suggestion, especially for people who belong to very religious community and the parents are very religious because they think that it's something their fault that they have done some kind of sin in their past life, and that's why they got the kid who is gay or homosexual. So I suggest that we need to have empathy, and we need to, instead of coming out, we need to try to teach them. We need to try to explain them slowly. We need to come out in stages rather coming out directly. I came out directly over the call, but I feel I would have changed, gone back to the time, and I would have changed this if I was expert. So my suggestion to the people who want to come out, understand your parents, have an empathy because they have they have seen you as a like as a boy, like who is going to marry a girl since the day you born.
True.
So after 20 years, you come out and all of a sudden you'll say that, oh, you can't marry a girl and you're gonna ruin the dream and you're gonna like not take care of their dreams and hope. So we need to also understand their psyche, and we need to come out to them slowly. We need to try to educate them. We need to try to give them some books. We need to tell them that you're not going to be alone. So they have a lot of fear of loneliness. So fear of loneliness is very, very scary for them because they believe that their kid is gay and then he's going to be alone, because ideal situation for them, a couple is a girl and a boy together. They have not seen a guy and a guy or a girl and a girl together, right? So especially in India. So it was tough for them. So I personally feel one should definitely come out because you can't keep your parents in the dark, right? So you need to come out, but come out slowly. Try to educate them, try to show them some documentary, try to understand what they think about homosexuality, and then try to educate them that this is normal and this is not a sin. This is not because of God, or this is not because of the religion or the society, or because not because of them, because they gave you the birth. So it's not related to them. It's natural. You need to tell them it's natural, and it's something which can be acceptable once they have a true understanding of it. Also, try to get examples from their interests. So my parents have interest with religion. So in Hindu religion, we have Ardhanarishwar, which is like Shiva, the god, which is the representation of a girl and a guy together. And we have a lot of hints of homosexuality in our own, religion, book and stories. So we need to try to tell them those stories which they understand, and try to relate to their own belief, that this exists in your belief, this exists in your religion, and then try to educate them, and then slowly come out to them that you have that feeling, what they think, if something like that. Start with saying that you're bisexual, because I think that would be more easier. Like, oh, they still have a little bit of hope that it's just a phase. It's actually phase for them. So, you need to also understand they're also going through phases. First, it's not like, you can't just burden them with your truth. Yeah. So that's my story.
Thank you so much, Ishan. Just wanted to ask you a few questions. When you were in the closet and now that you're an openly, queer man, what's the difference? Has anything truly changed for you?
So when I was queer and I was studying, and I got bullied a lot because I was a bit feminine side. So, the society in India, the classmates were always bullying you. So I didn't understood initially that is something like this exist, or maybe this is just a phase, or I, I just concentrate on my career and my studies. So that's the thing. But when I came out and work, and I I start earning, um, I was still thinking that I think that I should hide it, because this might affect my job, or this might affect the way people look at me. I will not get promoted, or I will get judged, and kind of things. So that's kind of thing there in my mind, because in India people are more spiritual and more more related to the community, and like all the society, and is still a taboo, right? So there's a thing. But luckily, my second job was with booking.com, and most of the people were from Amsterdam or London. They were here in India, so they already know about it. So they were like, um, yeah, it's okay, it doesn't matter if you're gay, we accept you, we are from Amsterdam, and is quite open there, and we have no problem. And I was like, no, this is my business, I should not talk about it. So that was before coming out. I was scared. I was scared with that I might not get my promotion, or people will not respect me, and so on. But after I came out to my parents, then I realized that now I came out to my parents, and I'm nothing to hide from the society, because I don't care about my society. Everything I care is my parents and my sibling and my close friend. And one should not announce to anyone else. You don't need to. It's your own business and your own life. You need to tell to someone you believe you want to tell, someone you think that it is affecting their life. So that's what I did. So I came out to my family and my close friends, and then it became normal for me. It's like everyone, I was just very out, and I was just telling about I'm dating guys and I'm going out for date, and I'm traveling the world, I'm meeting different guys and all kinds of things. So after I came out, I became more confident, and it affected on my work. It affected on my professional life as well, because I was not hiding anything and I was like honest about each thing. So I became more powerful, because then I thought that power is in my hand, because now no one can blackmail me that we're going to call your parents and we're going to tell someone in your family that you're gay or something like that. I was like, yeah, you can go and you can tell, because I already told them. So, you can't harm me. So yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing when that blackmail is no longer there, nobody can blackmail
Yeah.
you. I just wanted to
Yeah.
ask you because you did talk about your mom going into depression. So has she overcome her depression or how are you helping her overcome?
Yeah, so it took time. It took time. So initially, she had to take medication. She used to cry, and then she used to just pray to the God all day. Then I need to also, like, sometime I need to go to her and I need to, tell her that maybe I'm bisexual. Maybe I'm just exploring. Don't worry. I'll be all right. And I need to lie, because yeah, just to coping. Yeah, so just to let her cope with the trauma. So I need to tell her that I might be okay, or I will do whatever you say, and kind of thing. So yeah, it took some time, because I did a mistake that I just came out like directly, is without educating her. So yeah, that's why I need to go back and I need to rewind it, and then I need to, yeah. So it took time. She took around 1 or 2 year probably to understand, and then a lot of things also changed in the society, and because of the law changes, and it was all over the news. Then the gay prides start happening.
Yeah, can we
So
talk
yeah.
about the law? What law changed in India?
So yeah, so in 2018, in September, gay sex became legal. So before that, being gay was illegal. So because of the British rule, we were still had 100-year-old legislation about 377. So 377 is like having a sodomy is illegal, and you can get arrested, and police can put you in the jail. So yeah, but when in 2018, yeah, so before even 2018, people were fighting about the rights, people were doing prides and all. So my parents, and especially my mom, realized that I'm not the only one. There are like thousands and lakh of kids. So that really helped her. Then I gave her some books to read. I took her to some NGOs, some meetings, some counseling. So yeah, that's really helped her to understand. Yeah.
And for me, I come from a place like Nigeria where it's still illegal to be, homosexual, and it kills me a lot because I see a lot of people get into situations and they never come out from it
Yeah.
because of how the society treat them. So for people living in Nigeria, I don't expect them to be openly gay, but thank God we do have some brave people there. Just back to your own situation. So we talked about your mom, we talked about pride. So have you guys had any pride in India? Have you guys had a gay pride in India?
Yes. Yeah, we have it in all the major cities, and after it became legal, we can see a lot of people are coming out and telling the stories. We have a lot of queer businesses. We have queer e-commerce shopping sites. So yeah, things are changing, but still, the society have a taboo. So that will take some time still, right? So yeah, it takes ages.
Have you attended any of the pride yourself?
I have attended the bride with my partner. Yeah. Last year, I also introduced my parents to my partner, and then they also treat him like their own son, and they treat us very lovingly and very nicely. They don't openly talk about it, but they just like treat him like my good friend, like a family. Yeah.
So why did you introduce your partner to your parents? Was it like family pressure, or you just wanted them to know who you want to spend, the rest of your life with?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell them because now they are understanding that I am gay and then I'm never going to get married. So now they had this thing in their mind that I'm probably very alone and I don't have anyone. So that they might be very fearful. So I just wanted to introduce to them to tell that I'm not alone. I have someone to live rest of my life with and to to share my good and bad. So uh, so yeah, I just I introduced them like first like my roommate, then my flatmate, and then one day my mom asked me, "Is he also like you? Do you like him?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's like me." And yeah, so yeah, she asked me, and then I told her, "Yes, yes, he's like me, and we are together."
And yesterday when we were talking, you did mention that you help some kids in India to be able to embrace themselves. Would you like to talk about the program you help with the queer teens in India?
Yes, so yeah, so actually we just started a queer travel business. It's still very early stage, and we also do a lot of NGO because there are two things about queer people. One is the coming out. So I wanted to tell them that you should come out, but there is a process. Don't take it very lightly because it's not very normal in our society because our society is very religious. So there is a process and you need to follow that to have a successful coming out to your parents. That one. And second is about the relationship. So people are still think that they're going like queer people still think that they're going to be very alone and they were never going to find out anyone and they are like yeah, so I just wanted to tell them first they need to love themselves. First they need to understand in that stage where they can love themselves and accept anyone else, because if you don't love yourself you probably gonna make the relationship very claustrophobic, because you need to give space to each other. You just need to, understand that what he thinks, what you think, and he have a life apart from like a you, and also many people think that if you're gay and then sex is a big part of it. Yeah, it is a big part of it, but you're not going to do sex all the time, right? So there is other capabilities. Yeah, yeah, there is other compatibility is also important. Like you need to know your interests. You need to have something to talk about. You need to have some kind of common interest, maybe related to the food or related to travel, or you like dogs, something like that, just to share the good and bad, right? So yeah. Also, oh yeah, so that really helped for a relationship. So yeah, that's why we just come out, like that. Also give some time because um, that will also understand. Also know that you really want to be in a relationship, because if you want to rush because others are rushing and the society is in a relationship, that's not going to help out, right? You need to know 100% that you are ready.
Before we end this interview for today, I just want to ask you this last question. As coming from a religious family and your parents being religious, are you still religious or no? And if you're still religious,
Oh, no, I'm very, very much, very religious, very, very. I practice Hinduism as well as Buddhism. So I'm doing both the practice. And I think I have more faith um, because the religion and the God helped me to understand my parents. So I feel, yeah, that is something very core of my heart. So I think that really helped me to cope up with my own anxiety and my own depression, my own sadness of getting bullied, that I had God, and I always believe that God is going to make things right. And um, yeah, and that really connected me with my parents as well. So I feel one's belief and one's religion is important, because for all this process.
True. And finally, just to ask you, so this documentary came about because of a pastor here in Toronto. Her name is Reverend Juliana, and she just recently came out to her congregation. And after coming out to her congregation, she was fired. She was fired from her job. Her contract was terminated. In Hinduism, how is the community? How is the religious community towards gay ministers? I don't know, or priests in Hinduism, do they have this fear of they are going to be fired and no longer able to become?
So, yeah, so the thing is, if you are a priest and you're living with another guy, or that is not acceptable. So, it's still it is not good. Yeah, but in Hinduism, um, if you're not marrying, like you're not marrying a girl, but you can still be priest, and people still can believe in you and respect you, because brahmacharya, which is like a celibacy, is a biggest part of Hinduism. Yeah, so many guys or girls, they do not marry and they're still priests. So that's good if you're single and yeah, kind of thing, and you're not getting married, um, and you just like that. Yeah. Also, there is a lot of um, you know religious community where a lot of gay guys are you know like part of it, but they are not very open about it, because it is still taboo, right? Because so if you're like a priest, you need to set some examples, right, in Hinduism. So that is problematic, because um, having a gay priest is going to be problematic for the society to accept them, because to believe them, right? Because they are like their guru, they are like their teacher, and you can't be teach if you're not matching with the religious belief. And being gay is still a taboo in Hinduism, so I feel um, it is a big problem.
Totally understand you, and that's one thing we are still trying to fight. One thing we are still trying to say. For me personally, I'm a Christian, and I believe that you connecting with your God has nothing to do with your sexuality. I
Yeah.
admire those who decide to remain, single for the rest, of who decide to abstain from sex because of their faith. It's very, very, it's a wonderful thing. But at the same time, our sexuality has nothing to do with our relationship with God, and our relationship with God comes from inside of us. That's one thing I believe. And finally, before we wrap up this interview, what will you have to say to young people who are coming out and who are from a religious background? What's your final message to them? How will they, come out? Because you talked about coming out in stages. Could you just brief the stages? So, what's the first stage they should take, the coming out?
Yeah, so I think there is stages. Like first, you need to come out to yourself that what you actually want, right? Don't be confused, because if you confuse, you can't make other understand it, right? So first come out to yourself. Come out to yourself that you're ready to, to tell other people. Don't rush. Don't rush. Just come out to yourself and then try to learn about why other people is not or is going to accept or not going to accept you, right? So you need to understand their own, like, their own position. Where are they in their, understanding about that? And then mix that. So your own belief and your empathy, just mix that, and then slowly try to, you know, um, teach other, gaze what other think about it, and then try to tell them slowly. Just give them some hints. Just try to make some small conversation. Yeah, this is very Indian example, because in India, being gay can be very new for the parents. So yeah, that's why you need to make them. They are. It should not be a shock. It should be education, right? It should be the stages. So yeah, go through with all that stages and then try to tell them. Don't give them a shock.